I don't want to blast any other services. Are there any ones that you would recommend moving away from, or I don't know how
Do not try to do this with Remine's data. It's crap.
Okay, Reminds.
Remine tells you can do it with their data. It's crap. Do not try to do it with HomeSnap's data. They're getting there, but they don't know what they're doing yet. So some of their data is actually quite good and different from yours. But the problem is that they're still in the 10% is good and 90% is junk ratio.
Got it. Okay. So those two services, you would say, if you're debating between Likely and either HomeSnap or Remine, you would advise them that Likely AI has a service that would generate more business for them in the near term.
Yes.
Okay.
And then you have a couple of competitors that just have a different business model. Right. So, I mean, I never had good experience with the data from Offrs. But I know plenty of people that have.
Okay.
Right. And if I was to make a distinction, I would say that their algorithm, as they grew, did the same thing that has happened to almost everybody else that's ever been in this space. If you decide you are a big growth business, you start optimizing your things for where the most of the business is in the country. Well, most of the business in the country is between 200 and 400. That's lovely, but it has nothing to do with my market. I can sell you a garage. So if you start optimizing for that price range, I'm getting no value out of what you're doing. And all that happens is you become more and more inaccurate with respect to my market. You may be doing great for Oklahoma City. And I'm not blasting Oklahoma City. I'm the broker of record for Oklahoma. But, that's not the same market as Boston, Massachusetts, or Portland.
Yeah. Good point.
A very different price point. And I will go back to the very first people that did this was a company called Market Leader. And the same thing happened. For 2 years, they generated great data. And then as they grew, they started optimizing for that other price point. And the more they optimized for that price point, the more inaccurate it became for where I was, to the point where I was like, this is useless.
Now, was that Market Leader who acquired SmartZip? And so it was SmartZip that you would roll up into Market Leader?
Market Leader originally was its own company. It then got acquired by Microsoft. And it got merged with a company called House Value.
Yeah, you're right. Remember that?
Right?
Yeah.
And then the Market Leader House Values combination turned into a major advertising campaign where they used House Values to get their leads. And then they ran their predictive algorithms through Market Leader to tell you what to do.
Yeah.
As they optimized the advertising for the 200 to 400,000 range, they optimized the algorithms around the 200 and 400,000 range. Well, I was in Naples, Florida, and my average home sale was 800 to $1 million. This was useless.
Yeah.
It was completely useless. And for a little while, they tolerated prior clients and they gave them some access to some backdoor stuff. But it's Microsoft. When Microsoft does things, they only do it in a big way.
Yeah.
All right. And then they spun it off. They originally spun it off as House Value, and that didn't work because it all crashed. And then they recognized that the CRM and the stuff that Market Leader had built was actually good. So they renamed it as Market Leader. And then, yes, Market Leader has now bought SmartZip.
And have you worked with SmartZip before as well?
Yes.
And do you still work with SmartZip?
No.
It's similar.
SmartZip is not good in my markets.
Okay. So you would classify them as optimizing for the 2 to 400K?
Yes.
Well? Okay.
I mean, that's where the volume is.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to be a growth business that is going to attract large quantities of VC money or get bought by somebody, you want to show that you've got a large number of agents that are doing a large number of things.